Good morning. It's Mike, Wildcat Hollow Farm. I know it's been a while since we've done a video, but stay with us. There's been a lot of things going on, and I'll give you an update of what we got going on so far. This is the Jersey Giants, and they are just a hair over 2 months old now. Very curious, very flighty, but they grow slow, and we knew that. But this is going to be our main flock, and I picked these for specific reasons. They are heritage birds. They are very smart, and they get very big. The roosters can hit 15 pounds and be 2 foot high. Now we have a lot of predators out here, and the bigger the chickens, the less likely they are to be picked off by the predators. And being black, the avian predators won't attack them because they look like crows when they're on the ground. And they're actually very curious. And real flighty, which is a good thing. Keeps them alive. This is a temporary setup here for them right now. I'm in the process of building a permanent run up the hill, and I'll show that later on in the video. This is our Rouen ducks. They are a week younger than the chickens and almost twice their size. They were originally bred in France as meat birds, and they are still young, don't have their full colors yet. And ducks are messy. There's no other way around it. But these will also be run in 2 flocks, one to produce eggs and offspring, and the other one to produce meat. The meat birds will be on the pond eventually, and the breeding set will be kept in with the chickens so we can harvest the eggs and keep the offspring safe until they're old enough to go onto the pond. We will keep the hens for laying purposes, and we will butcher the extra drakes. But they have free run during the day because they don't go far from where the water's at. And they graze and eat bugs and chase butterflies, and so far they've been pretty good. The drakes can hit 10 pounds, the hens can hit around 8 if I remember right. But they are a very, very old heritage breed that came from the original mallard stock, but they are about twice the size of the average mallard. Yeah, I'm in the big garden at the moment. We've got our second run of crops planted here. We're having some pest problems, specifically the squash bugs. The watermelons and cantaloupes got hit by them, and they're dying, but we've got the majority of the fruit off. The butternut squash is being hit, but it's also got new flowers. And we've been using neem oil at twice the concentration that they recommend, and we're still losing the battle. And we've got 2 different kinds of squash bugs here, and they're both just rampantly killing everything. Let me get this in focus here. Oh, I'm too close for the camera. Give me a second. There, you can see the bugs right there. Well, it's not wanting to focus. Let's try it again. There it is. Now you can see the bugs right there. They're everywhere. And fortunately, we didn't have any vine borers, but we've had Japanese beetles and cucumber beetles. Two kinds of squash beetles. We've had corn silkworms. We've had hornworms. But the garden is still producing. We have peppers here, one variety, I don't remember the kind, that's Peter's department. Green beans, we've got the Chinese noodle beans here that are just producing phenomenal amounts. And we got some lovely peppers. These will eventually turn purple, I think. I don't do colors well, I don't see color. So, but we've got carrots replanted, we've got potatoes replanted, we've got tomatoes everywhere. These are, the big vines here are cherry tomatoes, and they're just going nuts, which is good. Means more tomatoes. The problem that we're having at the moment is getting canning supplies, and it's nationwide. It seems that there's a shortage of them this year. I'm in the smaller garden. We've got more squash planted here that's coming up. And our tomatoes here, I butchered them the other day because they were getting too thick to get anything out of them. But they'll come back. And this is our second crop of corn that's already 7 feet high. And more green beans. And Peter's got this replanted with other things. I have no idea what it is. The gardening is mostly her department. We've got turnips coming up back here. We've got potatoes coming up. And we've got peas over here on the trellis in the back that are about a foot high now. This is all second crop stuff. Some of the stuff that we've harvested out here. We've got butternut squash and jackpea little pumpkins and some little dumplings and some camu camu, and that is Ozark egg gourds, and those aren't edible. However, if you put them in a nest with chickens, the chickens will think it's an egg and they'll go broody on it. And if you get a black snake in and eats the eggs, he will eat the gourd as well, and the gourds are toxic. It will kill the snake. And some birdhouse gourds that got harvested a little early because the plants were having problems. So I'm hoping they'll dry out okay. And seed starts, which are for the garden. We've got some corn hanging up here drying out, popcorn, and Painted Mountain, I think is the name of it. Back over here on the hanging up is onions dried out. We've already used one whole strand for canning, so they're ready to hang in and store. And recently we had a gas stove gifted to us, and I'd like to give a shout out to Jan and Susan at Our Serenity Homestead. They're YouTubers. You need to go check out their channel. They are great people, and they gifted us with this stove, and it's much appreciated. I got to clean it up and get it changed over to propane, but it'll come in really handy. Our neighbors, Frenchie and Regina, had a bulldozer out here to do housework, or their house site work, and her brother, Chad, was running the bulldozer, and they decided to come over here and bulldoze our drive and make a turnaround for us. And I'd like to thank Regina and Frenchie and Chad. It's much appreciated and helps a lot. This is going to be the new chicken run. It's not finished yet. I still got to cut a lot of pieces for it and attach things some places and build a new coop in it. But, the posts are honey locusts, Those things will last until long after I'm dead because nobody wants to eat them. The fencing is chicken wire and it's 6 foot high, but I put it in the ground and it's coiled down in there to keep predators from digging underneath it, and so it only extends up to 5 feet, which is plenty. But the run is 24 by 24, and this is where the chickens and the breeding ducks will go. And plenty of space, plus they'll be let out during the day once they're old enough to forage on their own. But, put it on top of the hill here, right behind the house, and this ground is hard. It took me 3 days to dig post holes to put these in. I hit about a 10-inch layer of hard packed clay and rocks. Lots of rocks. Welcome to the Ozarks. But it's in, and it will be here for a long time. Petra's herb garden here has done wonderful. She's been harvesting and drying stuff. I can't tell you what it is. That's not my department. I do know this one. It's purple coneflower, or echinacea. And the seed heads on it are about ready to be harvested from the looks of it. Some of them anyway. But, she's got lemongrass and thyme and rosemary and all kinds of other stuff up here. I recently turned another year older, and my love Petra pulled a fast one on me. This DeWalt saw was my birthday present, and it's one of the contractor models, but this thing is built solid. I like it. I know this won't seem like much to most people, but so far out of our little experimental garden, we have canned the equivalent of almost 300 pints in quarts, pints, and in the freezer. And the problem we're having is not growing it. The problem we're having is getting canning supplies. They don't seem to be much available this year. Well, thank you for watching on this beautiful morning in the Ozarks. We got a lot of things going on, and filming video and stuff takes time away from what we're doing. We'll try to do better, but the coordinating of doing and making video at the same time we still haven't figured it out. I imagine in the next couple of days or so, Petra will do a video in German for our subscribers there. Thanks everybody for watching. Click the like and the subscribe button if you haven't already. If you think other people would be interested in what we're doing, share the video. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, got Instagram. We don't do it so much, but that's something else we need to try a little better at. But oh, and I don't usually make these without my hat on, but no, I'm not going bald. I wear the hat to keep the hair out of my head, or out of my face most of the time, because this is why. Yeah, there's a lot of it.